Hey guys, this is this is Tyler from Socrates Trading. It is March 4th, so this is my live trading from March 3rd, and hopefully everyone had as solid of a trading day as I did. I made just over $8,000. So it's been real volatile this week with the coronavirus and just the adjustments in the market. It's been tricky the past few weeks. So I've kind of noticed it's more of this in and out type of market. So I haven't been holding my trades as long. I've been cutting the time there, and because I follow more of the scalping method for trading. I do utilize some of the one or two other strategies, but scalping is my preferred method. So my first stock I traded was CNSP, CNS Pharmaceutical. These were all micro cap stocks. There were 4 in play that I traded today. So if we look here, currently at 3.91. Right now the market's closed. Okay, so this is prior day here. We're seeing the volume right here. Relatively low, and then we gapped up into the pre-market at around 7 a.m. and then we saw it was around 4.5 trading. So this was one of those stocks where perfect if you were ready to jump in, if you had your order or just had it ready within seconds of it opening. It had this huge surge up. It went all the way up to 509, and this was actually the high of the day. So this was my first significant trade here, and I made at least 2,300 off this one. And then it came all the way back down here, and then we could see it was at 450. It was starting to gain. It was going to start rebounding again here. So I ended up. I didn't jump in again once until there was, after this red candle here, just 5 minutes in, I got in here at around 465, and then I rode it up to about 485, and then sold out. I wasn't holding as big of a position. Now this stock can then drop significantly here the next half an hour to an hour, and it ended up closing pretty. I'm just adjusting the graph here so everyone can kind of get an idea. After this point, it kind of just stayed lower with micro movements like this one here. This was around 9 o'clock. So that was CNSP. The next one was OCGN, OCGN, and that was a this is a penny stock here. OCGN was over $20 a share 6 months ago, and it dipped huge just last autumn, and it went all the way under $1. This is a full-scale penny stock. Leading up to pre-market, we're around almost 50 cents, 48 cents a share. Within pre-market, we got all the way up to 68. The pre-market hours were actually the highest hours for trading. So this stock actually went towards, this is open time here at 54, or actually 52, around 52. I jumped in right around here, closer to 9 o'clock. I'll zoom in here. Okay, so we could see the volume here. More bearish movements, and likewise you can follow volume patterns down here. At this point, it was between 150 to 130 to 150 on the high end. So, okay, now we can see here all these green candles. There are 6 of them, so great indicators to hop in. And I ended up popping in on the second candle when it was about 54.6. Now, remember here with penny stocks, we're not looking at just a penny. We're looking at the 10th or even 100th here. So right here I denote 54.6. And then I ended up holding this till about, we got up to 57, over almost 58. I ended up holding it till about 57.5, and then I sold right here. I ended up profiting about 2,300 on this particular stock. So when you're looking at penny stocks, that movement, that's several percentage. When you're right here, 54 and a half is going to up to 57 and a half. That's going to be pretty significant. And I had since there was more bearish, there was shorting that was going to occur, and institutions were going to unload. So, and that indeed did happen. We saw the stock then dropped all the way back down to 52 and a half here, and to show what it continued on. Show this, we can see here it kind of after that point it continued more downwards until the end of the trading day here, and it's now at 48. So that was OCGN. Now let's look at ADMA biologics. Also gapped very high here. It was under 3 and a gap at pre-market. It hit its high point. It was all the way up to $3.50. Now, this stock started going down at pre-market right towards open. This would have been the time to sell. I would have recommended if someone was holding this to sell right at pre-market. Now, this stock I ended up jumping into. It was pretty early. Most of my stocks I jump into within the first hour or two here, and I jumped in around close to 9 o'clock here. I cut this first candle, and I ended up jumping in at about 3.12, and then this particular stock I ended up riding up until 318, so not as high here, but I mean this is scalping, and I still made a pretty sizable percentage gain here. This was about 2,400 in profit. So I'm going to go back here and we'll look here. So it kind of had steady downward trajectory until the end of the trading day, and it ended up closing around now it's trading about $3 a share. So the last one was IFRX. So this was IFRX. It was open in pre-market, got very high here, 6.47. Went back down again, and then it opened right here around 520 range, and then had its first major movement, got all the way up to about $5.50, and then slowly went down here. I didn't jump in on this one until afternoon. I jumped in around 4.45, and then I'll zoom in here so people can see what occurred here. So okay, so I jumped in about right here, and then I rolled this one up until about 4.65. I was just scalping here. I had felt that due to the stock having gone down so much during the course of the day, that it was likely to rebound at some point back to readjust the value, and that ended up happening. And then I sold off again around here. I bought in closer to here, and yeah, that was my trading day. So hopefully everyone gets an idea here of how I play these stocks, and yeah, just stay very vigilant and know when to buy in. More importantly, when to sell. And yeah, I mean, this is a tricky time to trade right now. So just continue on with what you're doing, and figure out where you need to improve.